Find a target, you zoomer!
Peekaboo, Vault Thief! Viewers, comment on the stream. Tell us how you want the Vault Thief to die. There's a lot of ways to get by.
You couldn't hit a cow's arse with a bandsaw.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Super501 and today I want to show you guys another one of the legendary weapons from the Guardian Takedown raid. And this is the only weapon from the raid right now that I would consider to be a good weapon and usable. Both the other weapons seem to be just completely undertuned, even though all three of the weapons do seem to be pretty unique and play pretty nicely if they were just tuned correctly. And the weapon we're looking at is a new CLV rocket launcher, the Globetrottr. And yes, it is a reference to the Harlem Globetrotters in name and pretty much how the projectiles work. So these can roll ×3 and ×6. I did get a ×6. Now the ×3 could also be pretty good because that only consumes 1 ammo per shot, which makes those type of rocket launchers super good for some builds because they just don't take much ammo at all. This is ×2, but the damage is just ridiculously high. I did get a good anointed. I think this anointed, I'm pretty sure, still is removed when you switch weapons, so that's still kind of broken, but no idea what the best anointeds are right now because of the 300% one pretty much getting destroyed. This thing is really strong and is a possible alternative for the YELLOWCAKE because of how much damage it can do to single target stuff and bigger enemies. So how this weapon actually works, and it does shoot really quickly. As you can see, the fire rate is 2, which is pretty ridiculous, and the shots to break is also pretty high on this thing, so you can shoot out a lot of shots very quickly. And pretty much what this does is it shoots out a bunch of discs, whatever your pellet amount is, that go out, then they'll bounce a couple times. So they're legitimately pretty much a basketball. They just look like a disc. So as you see, they bounce and they'll bounce again. Now the bouncing at the end, once they hit something, if they hit something a second time, they disappear. So they won't keep bouncing a couple times. And this hit, once they hit something, so if I hit this target, they will bounce up. Now, as you see, some of them actually hit the targets on their way up, doing their second damage hit before dropping down. So that can also happen. And with bigger targets, with bigger boss targets that don't move around as much, this is going to be much more easy to use. And also, having low recoil is going to make this weapon extremely strong. Definitely don't use the Mayhem effect or modifier that gives you really high recoil, because that will spread out the shots. As you can see, the shots are a little bit spread there, even though I have good recoil because I'm saying I don't have that Mayhem anointed. If you ADS, the shots are even more compact. So you want these shots to be as compact as possible to each other and as tight as a spread as you can possibly get, which makes ADSing with this weapon even a lot more prevalent, because not ADSing, as you can see, they're still pretty tight right now. And they do that a lot as well. That's something you have to be careful for, because if they don't hit a target, because once they hit a target, they will then hit there and bounce, which will also then hit the target a second time most of the time, so they're not bouncing around. Because if you get hit by one of these things, you're probably going to one-shot yourself no matter what. Pretty much every time I've been hit by one of these things in testing, it one-shots me. So that's something you do have to be pretty careful with. The overall damage of these things is pretty good, especially on this ×6. Now, these can come in any element, and I don't have any element on this one, so you could definitely get a lot more damage, you know, if you're getting the different elemental ones and using them against whatever health you're going against for a pretty big damage increase. And take into consideration, this damage is with kinetic, so it's not even with incendiary on a flesh target, and it's still doing some pretty decent damage without any of my procs. That just did 2.2 million or something like that right there, which is pretty nuts. And I'll have some footage of me trying this against bosses. So overall, pretty good weapon. The only good weapon from the raid right now, but they said early next week, so probably Monday or Tuesday, they will have another patch tuning stuff. Hopefully some of these raid weapons do get tuned and buffed a little bit. So that's all I want to go over today. Subscribe if you want to see more Borderlands 3 content. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this rocket launcher, and thanks for watching.